Okay, this is 4 high potential stocks to turn $1,000 into $1 million.
Today's video, we're going to break down the top 4 stocks to turn $1,000 into $1 million. These are
Don't we love these like absolute painfully clickbait titles? Yeah, apparently YouTube loves them.
stocks with incredibly high sales growth, high profit margins, exponentially growing industries, and growing customer bases. These are all stocks that I believe will have insane upside over the coming year and years, and you will kick yourself in the rear end again and again if you miss these. These are all great companies with great momentum that are all screaming, buy, buy, buy. That said, the only way to achieve our goal of turning $1,000 into $1 million is if you employ the right option strategy on the right stock at the right time, and rinse and repeat, scaling up your account over time. And yes, you will
Scrooge McDuck is my spirit animal. I love this video so far.
need some luck on your side, but I believe this video is going to set you up very nicely. You do need a good option strategy to make all of this work out. For example, we alerted pre-election Tesla calls for options members on September 17th, 2024 at $22.77. They ran to heights at $236. That's a 938% run when the stock itself only went up about 100% during that same time span. That's the leveraging capability of options. Quite frankly, if you just bought shares, that wouldn't have been enough. You need options in order to really start moving that needle, especially if you have a small account. And then you need to rinse and repeat on that stock with said option strategy again and again as that momentum brews. So anyways, in today's video, we're going to break down number 1, each of the 4 stocks, number 2, why each has insane upside potential, and number 3, the option strategy and specific option calls to play to exploit it. And then at the end of
All right, now listen, this video came out on January 26th of 2025. Now, this is well before this huge sell-off right here. In fact, January 26th was this candle right here. Oh, actually, it was that candle right there that I already had circled. So with that being said, surely the Zip trader would have told you where to get out if things didn't work out, right? That's what we're trying to find here, is how were these stock picks from a month ago, how are they looking today? I don't know how great they're going to look. And I certainly don't think that buying those 4 is going to turn you into a millionaire by the time that this video comes out. Oof.
the video, we have a sponsored segment on ticker symbol NGLD, Nevada Canyon Gold Corp. It's a stock trading at just $1.17, and the company has been trending as Trump.
Yeah, we're not going to listen to this ad. By the way, ads for stocks, kind of scammy in my opinion. Just putting that out there.
Drill, baby, drill. Companies like Apple, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Samsung all rely on ARM's IP, and let's just say they're not going to stop anytime soon. ARM is pushing into data centers, automotive, and IoT, Internet of Things, which are industries absolutely exploding right now, and ARM is a critical component of this AI revolution and unprecedented.
All right, let's look at ARM. ARM. All right, so this video, like I say, it came out on January 26th. January 26th, and that was where? I guess that was a weekend. January 27th is right here. So first off, I wouldn't be buying it right here at all. The reason why is because it's under the key moving averages. The outlier trend template will tell you where the direction of the trend is going. The 10 is over the 20, price is over the 50. We do see that right here. But, and this is the hesitation that I have, is that it closed not under the 10, but under the 20. That was a really ugly move. When I see a stock close under the 20, that is when I say, oh, yikes, that is not a good stock I want to be in. And let's just see what happened since that point, right? It went up. Actually went up 18%. Maybe that was the point where he would have sold out, but surely he wouldn't be a millionaire by then. And since then, what's happened? Ooh, it's down 23% since that point. 23% since that point. So hopefully he told you to get out at the top, of course. Surely he told you to get out the top. Let's go look at it in Outlier real quick. ARM. My internet is acting slow. Let me refresh the page here. While that refreshes, let's continue on with the video.
AI spending, with Trump making sure to emphasize hundreds and hundreds of billions, probably going to end up being trillions of dollars invested towards AI infrastructure and AI development. Well, that's a big tailwind for companies like ARM. ARM's business model is a money printer, plain and simple. They license their designs, and every time a device gets...
I don't get it. And Zip Trader actually has a decent channel talking about trading, but when you talk about the company itself, you could have a fantastic company and a horrible stock. You can have an absolutely blazing stock and a terrible company, right? They don't go hand in hand. The price of the stock can move wildly different than what you would expect based on the story of the company. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the story of the company is, because only price pays. And only price is going to pay you at the end of the day in your account. Doesn't matter how great the story is, especially if it's a money printing a company like this, right? Let's go look at it in Outlier real quick. Let's go to ARM. Oh, we don't cover it. We cover 2,500 stocks. So apparently ARM is not one of them, and we just don't have enough data on it yet. But we are expanding all the time. But I'm telling you right now, this is not one. I would not have gotten into this. I don't have the Nancy Pelosi package yet, right? So imagine that this is the last candle we could see. I would not have gotten into it at that point. Could you have gotten in and made some money? For sure. But if you're still holding it right now, you're losing about a quarter of your investment already.
Get shipped using their tech, they get a cut. With demand for advanced chips skyrocketing, their royalty revenue is only going to climb higher. ARM is also slowly but surely taking market share in data centers, an area historically dominated by x86 architectures, which was historically Intel, but now they're...
I don't care. I don't care about that. I want to know what you are saying about the stock price.
Out of the water. Now, what about strategy, Mr. Charlie Charlito, Grandpa Charlie? Well, for context, we alerted ARM calls on January 10th, 2025. They were at $6.33. They jumped up to $20.15, which was a run of about 218%. Pretty nice for a couple of weeks, right? By the way.
Okay. So let's go back. He said January 10th. January 10th, 2025. He's saying that he put out an alert. I don't know if he did or didn't. I'm not going to call him on that. And then it did absolutely run up. For sure ran up, right? Big, huge move. 27% move. However, these calls expiring April 17th. If you're still holding on to those calls, probably not making much money on them at all. So I'm curious to say where you said, I want to know what his risk strategy is. I care more about that.
If you want to get our options membership, which includes these alerts, I'll put the link to that down below. If you're wondering what broker to trade these stocks and options on, I'll put the link to Moomoo down below. They are the best, and they are a great partner with us. We've sent them thousands of people. Link to both down below. But bigger picture here, if you want to leverage your capital effectively and play off a more immediate move, which I believe is coming for ARM, take a look at these 180 strike calls expiring March 21st. Moomoo has them right now.
Ooh, the 180 strike calls are not going to be printing money today, because that is now down at 111. So when this video was recorded on this candle right here, it was at 150-ish. It did get up close to 180, got up to 173, but I'm pretty sure that that's not a great play today. But surely he's going to talk about where to get out if you're wrong, right? Because stocks don't just go up. Even when he calls them out on his options Discord or whatever, right? They don't just go up.
For $9.02. Arguably, very solid bet here if you believe that the immediate upside is very, very high and you want to take advantage of this 20% dump that we got on Friday, which makes them a better dip buy. Keep in mind that I see ARM having a nice pump in February where you can then go and take some of the profits off of this. And then,
well, did it pump in February? It did. It did get up to 174. So maybe for sure he made so much money on that, but it certainly didn't last.
Roll them out to later expiration options to play off again what I think is going to be a really good 6 months and then maybe even a really good year for ARM. This is a stock that you want to take the time to read the investor relations page of, go through the PowerPoints, go through the SEC filings, and build your own conviction in, because I think if you do that, you're going to have a much, much stronger emotional balance when this goes up and down, and you're going to be able to pay attention to the bigger picture. Okay, number 3, Sofi.
Okay, well, I'll put it to you this way. This one, in my opinion, could he have made some money at? He really could have. I will absolutely give him credit for that. 1 move and 2 moves. But if you're still holding on to this, it's not printing today. But I really wish, and I just don't get it. Apparently, no one on the internet loses money trading options, right? If you are a YouTuber who makes content about trading, you don't lose. Now, granted, I have 2,000 videos that you can go back, and every single trade I put on for years and years is live right on YouTube, and you can see it. And I definitely lost plenty of them. Okay, so I don't know. I wish that people talked more about risk instead of just the reward.
Sofi. Sofi is an absolute juggernaut in the personal finance space, and Trump's presidency is going to skyrocket its business. Obviously, Biden and SoFi didn't get along too much. SoFi isn't just another fintech company, it's a full-blown financial ecosystem. They started as a student loan refinancing company, but now they're a one-stop shop for everything financial, personal loans, mortgages, and
Again, like, why are you selling me on these stocks? Are you getting paid to promote those stocks too? So this came out, what day was that? January 26th. Let's circle where that was. January 27th was a most recent candle after that. That was right after their earnings. So 1792. Oh, he must have recorded it right before their earnings, which was poor timing. Poor timing here. Now, I'll tell you first off, it was sitting inside this order block here. An order block is an area of large institutional orders that want to be filled. That order block goes all the way back to November of 2021. All the way back. The further back order blocks go, the more powerful they seem to be as support and resistance lines. And what happened on that date? A huge move down, close under the 20 right here. And then another move down, a bounce back up into the second order block that was created. Tell me order blocks don't work. Go ahead, try. So first order block, rejected. Second order block, rejected. And then a third one's created right here. I think SoFi is going to really, really struggle for a long time. And I just don't get it. I don't understand why SoFi was such a meme stock, right? I got so many comments of people saying, SoFi is so great. It's not a meme stock, blah, blah, blah. Bro, it's totally a meme stock. You are a SoFi bro. It's okay to be involved in that. But what's not okay is holding a stock where when he called it out, it was still pre-earnings. So I'll go from there. What's not okay is holding a stock that's down 39%. I'm pretty sure that if you bought options on this, you're not a millionaire. No, in fact, if you'd bought options on this, unless you closed them because you knew where your risk was, unless you decided ahead of time to know where your risk was, I'm pretty sure you're down money. Oh, geez. I don't think I've ever sneezed before on TV. There we go.
Investing, credit cards, banking, and even cryptocurrency. They are like the Swiss Army knife of finance. We've been big fans of SoFi for a very, very long time, and SoFi is delivering. And the way to measure that delivery is through their member growth. You could see consistent and extreme member growth.
Again, none of this matters. None of this matters. Unfortunately, this was the peak SoFi excitement. This was the peak irrational exuberance for SoFi. And if we go to SoFi in Outlier real quick, we actually got like a really, really good sell signal on this one. And part of the reason was people were so excited on it. And then look at it now. Just going down. The amount of fear that's come into this is absolutely crazy. Sell signal came on January 28th. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, SoFi is not, in my opinion, the one that's going to take you to be a millionaire. But then again, he didn't have the Nancy Pelosi plan. He couldn't see out into the future. But where is he talking about his risk?
Expiring January 17th, 2025. We alerted those for options members on October 18th at about $1.14, and they capped off a run to $7.25 at highs, which was a run of just over 534% alert price to highs, and they expired deep in the money last week. Pretty incredible. But
this entire video feels like an ad. He's advertising the stocks. He's advertising his plans. Like that's all I see.
Firmly believe we have more massive runs coming very soon. And so take a look at these March 7th.
Well, we definitely had a massive run down.
2025 expiring 20 strike calls. Mumu is selling these calls right now for $1.06. And
yeah, that's March 25th, March 7th has come and gone. And this call option right here worth absolutely $0.
And again, if we start getting that move in the next couple of weeks, which I believe is going to happen after this earnings, well, all of a sudden, you're going to have these start running pretty aggressively. And again, with the theme of this video, you're rinse and repeating, right? You buy a call, you play the move to the upside, you sell out, or you roll out to a later expiration date, and you just keep rinse and repeating on the overall uptrend. Of course, you could buy farther expiration calls, but you're leveraging your capital a lot more if you're playing off more medium-term moves, right? Okay, number two, Tempus AI.
Where's his risk? Where is he saying? Basically, he said, rinse and repeat, buy calls, it goes up. Buy calls, it goes up. Until it doesn't. And then you're broke. Bro, come on. Talk more about risk. That's so important to me.
AI TEM. So former speaker, part-time politician, and full-time trader Nancy Pelosi disclosed a huge options position in this just a week ago, and I made a video breaking this down last week, and it got some 340K views.
What was the stock called? How do you type it in?
Term moves, right? Okay, number two, Tempus AI TEM. So former
TEM. TEM. I thought he said TIEM. TEM. Tempus AI. All right, let's remove my annotations here. Remember, this video was recorded on January 26th. And this is a Nancy Pelosi stock. Funny he mentioned that, January 26th. So the 27th would be the wrong button there. Remove this line. January 27th would be right here. Did that move? Yeah, that one moved bigly. That one moved crazy. 45-ish or $50-ish a share up to $90-ish a share. Ish a share.
Speaker, part-time politician, and full-time trader Nancy Pelosi disclosed a huge options position in this just a week ago, and I made a video breaking this down last week, and it got some 340K views, which in the YouTube finance space is really, really crazy. And it just shows how many people are interested in Nancy Pelosi's trades right now. But the truth is there's a lot of big money players looking at this, and they're looking at Pelosi, and they're thinking, okay, what does she know that we don't? And hedge funds love to play this game where they find stocks, and they have their teams of analysts go on all these different media outlets and talk up the stock everywhere they go. In fact, you're actually already seeing big...
I like what you're doing. Pumping the stocks. But dude, it's round tripped since then, right? It's literally back to below where it was since this video came out. So it went up 73%. Hopefully, surely, you and Charlie Chalito over here got out at the top up there. Hopefully so much. Because it is all the way back down. 73% up move, down 45%. I bet you there are a ton of people who are justifying their calls, justifying their shares on this side, saying, oh, it has to go back. And this is just a temporary setback, right? It has to go back up, even though the outlier trend template, which shows you which direction it's going with the 10 over the 20 price over the 50, was all pointing north right here. Weird how that works. And then it closed underneath the 10 moving average, right back down. It's almost like I know what I'm talking about. But the one thing he's not talking about and has yet to talk about is where your risk is at. Rinse and repeat these call options. Rinse and repeat every day until they stop working, and then you don't have anything to rinse and repeat with.
Institutional investors start buying in the week Pelosi's news came out and talking about it in positive ways. And quite frankly, I mean, you get... but something that you need to pay attention to because this is what markets are paying attention to right now. Okay, so how do you play this one, though? Well, Pelosi herself disclosed buying 50 calls with a strike price of $20 and an expiration date of January 16th, 2026. Good for her. Those calls are already up 61% since she placed the trade. But for everybody else, I would play it a little bit differently. I expect him to sell back off to, say, $35, $40 before it does its next wave to a new higher high. And so you're going to want to wait for the dip and then look at, say, April expiring call options with strikes of $40, somewhere around the $40 region. Okay, number one, pal.
Okay, well, that was a different tact, right? So he's saying, wait until it gets below 40 to buy the $40 calls. All right. Well, I'll tell you one thing. He was absolutely right that it looks like it might be headed below 40. So he called that there. However, still have yet to see anything talk about risk. So that one was not so bad. That one was not as bad.
Palantir, PLTR. So,
all right, Palantir is going to be brutal. I've seen so many people who have been absolutely wrecked by Palantir because they got all wrapped up in this move right around January 27th. Where is it at? Right here. So yeah. Okay. I actually did put out videos. I said, I'm bullish Palantir here. Receipts are on YouTube. You can go find them. It totally ran. And this also was a gap and go. So a gap and go, so earnings up, gap and go, is where it doesn't close below the low of the gap candle. So here it was right at $100.50. And it went up right up there. Now we did get some news and there was a sell signal. I remember that came through PLTR. I remember the sell signal came really close to the top and outlier here. Yeah. And it makes sense to me because the greed factor got so high. The greed factor goes from 0 to 50, and it was at 42 when we got the sell signal on February 13th. Sell signal came on here, this candle. So crazy enough, would have got you out nearly 3 candles away from the top. Pretty crazy right there. But looking at it, curious to see what he says.
Palantir is the undisputed king of AI and data analytics, and if you're not paying attention to this stock, you're missing the boat on one of the most explosive opportunities in the market right now. Let's start with the obvious. So AI is absolutely eating the world, and Palantir is at the forefront of this seismic shift. Their artificial intelligence platform, AIP, is not just another tool, it's a game changer. AIP allows enterprises to integrate AI into their operations at scale, transforming how businesses make decisions.
Again, none of this matters. Only price pays. Let's see what he says.
In the next 5 to 10 years. So how do we play? Well, our Palantir 45 strike calls that we alerted back.
Again, another sales ad right here. So what's he saying?
little bit farther, I would look at these April 17th 90 strike calls that Mumu currently has for just.
All right, April 17th, 90 strike calls. So now this video came out here. The April 17th 90 strike calls would have printed bank. Would have been absolutely tremendous if he had sold it out when we had the outlier sell signal right here. But if you're holding them today, they're going to be worthless because they need to be above 90 strike, above the $90 point for those strikes to pay. So my overall takeaway here is a couple of these were pretty good. A couple of them were just hype. This just seems like the big mostest pumperest video ever. Let's just pump stocks, bro. And then of course, rinse and repeat buying those calls, rinse and repeat buying those calls. But at the end of the day, if you don't know where your risk is at, you're going to rinse and repeat one too many times and you're not going to have anything left. So I'm out on spring break, so I want to make these videos for you. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, or we'll help you save time, make money, and start with less risk together as a team.
10 over 20, over 50.